Hello everybody, welcome to Joe Morin for Amityville. This is our second to last Facebook Live that we're going to be doing. We will be back Sunday night, 8:30. We'll do a Q&A, we'll do a town hall, we'll answer all the questions you want. It'll be the final wrap up before the election. So tonight's going to be short and sweet, it's going to be simple, it's going to be the top 10. It's our top 10. And basically these are the top 10 questions that people are asking me to answer, but they really should be asked to my opponent because they're not getting any answers. So with all the ads, number one, with all the ads in Newsday that we've seen, all the articles, I should say, in Newsday this week, in reference to all the trials that are going on with Mangano and Vendetto and Singh and all the corruption issues there, everybody's asking me about Harris Speech. So I guess that's a question that needs to be asked, and the question is real simple. How can you continue to justify hiring the law firm of Harris Speech to represent the village of Amityville and our downtown revitalization and moving forward, when there are so many allegations against them that are absolutely horrendous? Again, this is a company that was picked, who represented our mayor personally in the last election, and the other 8 candidates, the other 8 law firms that were in the mix to be chosen for the position weren't even interviewed. So there's no way to explain that. There's no answer for that, but we got to ask it. How can you still justify that? I think that whole thing needs to be reviewed. It needs to go back before the public, let people speak about it, and possibly go for a redo on this because it doesn't make any sense. Question 2, cameras at the beach. People are asking me what I think about cameras at the beach, and my thought on cameras at the beach is they're nice, but I'd rather see the parking lot paved first because that is probably a potential lawsuit waiting to happen. We just changed the law on 2-family houses last week, and the explanation was that, there was possible lawsuits, so they were afraid of if they didn't change the law of getting sued. I would be more concerned with somebody breaking an ankle in the parking lot in the beach, and I think that is much more of a priority, a way bigger priority than worried about cameras. Cameras are good, no doubt about it, but that's it's like you're polishing the furniture while the building's on fire because you want to make it look nice when you're not really addressing the issues. It's like putting a Band-Aid on somebody who's hemorrhaging. It's nice, but they're a bigger fish to fly as far as that goes. People have asked me who is the Suffolk County Law Enforcement Association that's sending out flyers and paying for the flyers for my opponent. And that's the next question is why. Nobody's going out and spending that money, sticking their nose in Amityville, small town politics. They probably could care less about my candidate, but what's in it for them? Why? And is that connected to the fact that my opponent's campaign manager is a former detective of the Amityville PBA? Are they going to be looking for some kind of special treatment when negotiation and contracts come up? The question's got to be asked, and it's not being answered. So it's out there. It's something that's important, very, very important to be looked at. It's good. I had mentioned in the past about medical benefits, full-time, lifetime health care benefits that were taken away from some part-time village employees. It was in reference to a letter that was sent to the village residents complaining about mailings and actually telling people to get out, which is absolutely horrendous. I don't know where you get the gall to tell someone if you don't agree with me, you get out. So that question is, what is your thoughts and opinions on those lifetime health care benefits which taken away from part-time workers, which basically going to save the village $100,000 a year? Pave a lot of parking lots with $100,000, or you could give these people the benefits back. I certainly wouldn't give them back. I was against taking them away. I know Mayor Siri and Kevin Smith wanted to keep those. We need to know where you stand on that. That could be an important issue if you were elected and you tried to reinstate them. I wouldn't reinstate them. Leave them where they are. They're unnecessary. They're costing the village thousands upon thousands of dollars. So leave it there. Independence always comes up. The question of being independent always comes up. So here's a real good one. My opponent has voted every single time with Mayor Siri, Trustee Smith. Never been independent at one of those votes. And I can't imagine that could ever happen. What I'm telling you is I'm the guy in the middle. I'm the common sense guy. I'm fighting for the residents. And I'm not just swinging with my friends either way. I've had agreements and disagreements with everybody on that board. Everybody on that board. And I want to be the guy in the middle that's going to make the common sense decisions that work as opposed to just going one way. That's not independent. That's not independent at all. Transparency keeps coming up. Constantly have transparency coming up. I'm as transparent as it can be. I'm doing these videos, going door to door. I'm actually talking to people, knocking on doors, talking to people. I'm not just handing out flyers. I'm not just handing out brochures. Sometimes I get blindsided. Somebody doesn't like me. That's great. I'll be sitting there and willing to talk to them. But again, how can you be transparent when over and over again you voted? And recently, I'm not talking about years, the whole year. I'm talking about the last couple of weeks. Recently stepped on transparency when it comes to raises, taxpayers' money, campaign money, contracts. I mean, the police contract is absolutely going to be put up and out on the village website 2 weeks prior to it even being discussed. That's transparent. That means that the residents are going to get to speak, they're going to have a fair say, and that you're fighting for them. If you're hiding it, then you're not transparent. So it just doesn't make any sense as far as that goes. Let's see, what was the other ones that was up here? The New York State Review Board. Everybody's been asking me about the New York State Financial Review Board because so many people didn't even know about it. They didn't even know it existed. And one of the reasons why it didn't exist is because the report, which came out last June, wasn't up and made available to the public until residents complained about it, and it went up just recently. It's a comprehensive review on our financial status. It's a distressed village, and nothing's been discussed. It hasn't even been brought out in the open to tell the people what we're doing, what we're working on. I mean, that's huge. So to avoid those recommendations, now, maybe there's a solution, maybe there's not, but I can tell you this, if I had solutions, I would be telling people about it. I would make it transparent. I would put them out there. I would let them know about it. I wouldn't be hiding it. So that's huge. That's so huge that I don't even know where to go with some of that. I can't explain it. I would put it out there. I would discuss it, and I would make it something everybody knew about. Let's see, what more do we have here? Oh, a couple of things. One of the residents was very upset at a board meeting, not last one, the one before that, where she had asked the question, was denied the question, was told that it could be discussed after the board meeting in the foyer, in the lobby of the courtroom upstairs. And when my opponent was addressed, the response was, "Not now, please move out of the way." And that's horrible. That's horrible. If you don't want to address real questions, and you don't want to talk to people, what are you hiding? And there's no explanation for that. You have to address that. You have to stop and listen to people. Now, you can blow them off. You can tell them I'll get back to you. You can tell them a lot of things, but you just can't tell them, not now. That doesn't work that way, especially when you're in the middle of an election. You have vital issues. So, again, another question, why are you telling people, go away? I'm not talking to you. That doesn't make any sense. The budget, big question is, why were you claiming that you created a budget in 11 days from scratch, 0%, when now you're saying things which are a little bit different? That basically that entire budget was done. You adopted 90% of it, tweaked a few items here or there, one of them which was a huge raise for a village employee. Why were you saying it in the beginning that you created a thing from scratch when everybody knew that you wouldn't? Obviously, somebody got to the better of you and said, the truth is out. You can't keep hanging on to that story. You're going to have to change it a little bit. But it just goes back to the question of transparency. What were you hiding? Why were we hiding it? I don't know. It even goes back to the mailers. I know people think some of those mailers are nasty, but there's a lot of factual things in there. And we were originally told that everything was forged, and we were told that part of it's somebody's fault, and we don't really know the real story. So that's one of those things I think you just have to own it. It's true. People have researched it. It's proven it. It's true. It's not great, but it's out there. And it's something that's real of being able to deal with finances. Same thing with the Mousetrap Cafe. People are asking for questions on that. There's a business that went out of business. There's a place where firemen, police, residents, their lives were in danger on a horrible decision that was made. No explanation. So, and I guess the biggest and last question, and everybody always says to me, why should I vote for you? Tell me why I should vote for you. What's different from you than my opponent? And it's real simple. And this is going to be the last question. It's going to be short. This is going to be the end of our chat here is, why isn't there a debate? And I can't tell you why there's not a debate. I've been willing to debate anywhere, anytime, any place, any question. I will take my opponent's campaign manager as a moderator. I mean, we offered putting a priest out there to be a moderator, and we're hearing stories that there's no talking about issues or anything like that, like a debate, because we couldn't find someone that was independent or neutral or whatever. which is nonsense. I'll take the guy in the town that hates me the most in the town, and I'll sit and I'll answer every question because I can chew them all apart because I have the facts. I've been sticking to the same story. 25-year resident, volunteering all over this place. My resume is squeaky clean. I'm fighting for everybody in this town. I'm not connected to businesses, organizations. I'm not part of a trustee who has voted one way every single time. It's almost impossible in a year's time that you could vote that way every single time and say that you're a dependent. So we're going to see everybody Sunday night. Looking forward to it. It's the end of a long run. It's been a long run. I thank everybody for their patience, for watching these videos, commenting the videos. They're getting thousands. I mean, over 1,000 people are watching these videos between Facebook and the website, joemoranforamityville.com. So again, thank you for listening. Go out and vote for Joe Moran. It'll be the best thing you ever did.